the blood of the innocent Biafran that was unalive by the Nigerian government and the help of the British are still crying for justice. Every road lead to the Finland. Here we come. We are not giving time. Yes, we are really prepared in this course. Is either Biafra or nothing. Biafrans, every other update that I will be giving will be live and direct from the Finland soil because we are ready. We are ready. Nigeria government can never defeat Biafrans. Finland can never defeat Biafrans. We are prepared for this course. Tomorrow will be a very disastrous one to the Nigeria and the Finland government because they refuse to obey our quest. But now is the time for us to disgrace them. Please, Biafrans, be rest assured that at the end of the tunnel, victory will be ours. Watch the video. Don't go anywhere.
Great Biafrans, greetings to everyone. As you can see, that's my boarding pass. I am at Singapore airport on my way to Finland. Finland gekwete no neme. Here we go. Our PM is free and free indeed. Biafrans, looking forward to see you in Finland. This is Singapore airport. I'm heading to my gate right now. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Maduka Ogweleka. I'm going to make this video a very short one. And I have just one question. Why can't non-Igbo Nigerians allow the Igbos to go? Me, personally, completely fed up with this regular and continuous complaint against the Igbos in Nigeria. If you think the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria, then let them go. Malaysia did it with Singapore in 1964. Malaysia had to kick out Singapore. We used to be called Malaya as a country, but they had to separate. India also separated from Pakistan in 1947. So in the same way, nothing stops the Nigerian National Assembly to either organize the referendum or within themselves kick the Igbos out of Nigeria. You can't continue complaining against the Igbos year in, year out, year in, year out. Igbos make fake drugs. Igbos are criminals. Igbos are drug traffickers. Igbos are ritualists. Igbos are this. Igbos are that. If they are the ones setting Nigeria backwards, then allow them to go. You are in the majority in the National Assembly. Non-Igbo Nigerians are the majority in the National Assembly. So the Yorubas and the Hausa Fulanis, the thieves and so on, who don't like the Igbos, can organize themselves and kick the Igbos out of Nigeria. Why are they finding this so difficult to do? This is my question. Bye.
The world has ignored and completely erased a genocide that happened there between 1967 and 1970.
I know about that. Go on.
3 to 5 million children starved to death intentionally as a tactic to subjugate the Christian South. That is erased from history.
If I may for a moment, anyone who simply listens to you will simply say, oh, this is a marginal podcast. This is a guy who is fanatical about his issue, this, that, and the other, and they'll shrug it off. I am in a unique position to confirm everything you have just said, Mike, because as a teenager at the time, all the wonderful British public, my wonderful baby boom generation in Britain, was all up in arms about the monstrous, worse than Nazi evils of the United States in Vietnam. It was their protests were hysterical, cowardly, hypocritical, contemptible. Nobody was involved in protests about the Biafra genocide and the slaughter and murder of 3 to 5 million Igbo people, including at least 2 million children, as you said at the time. I didn't do much. I marched in the protests. I waved the banners. But I also had one unique opportunity. I had a chance to meet the British Foreign Secretary of the time, Michael Stewart, at a Labour Club meeting. It was all very English and civilized and polite at Oxford University. And I asked him to his face what he felt like being a mass murderer comparable to Adolf Hitler and Eichmann. I thought he would rant and rave at me, but no, the evil little shit was full of fake compassion. He said, I can't sleep at night, but what else can we do in our policy? Our policy is the humane policy, this, that, and the other. He had his conscience perfectly trained to jump through hoops on behalf of British Petroleum and the oil interests of the City of London. It was exactly as you said, even then. But please, go ahead. As I say, I'm in a position to confirm everything you have just said, and I do so.
Looks like a very serious diplomatic spat. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu says that instability in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger is worsening his own country's insecurity. What do you make of that comment?
I stand for the three because they are my friends, and I have no shame. I have no regret to tell anyone in Africa, to tell them off, to tell Mr. Tinubu to back off. Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, leave them alone. Tinubu has failed in his own country. He has failed. You know where the Boko Haram grew from? It's from Nigeria. Where I am right now, here, I'm struggling to release a gentleman in Finland where in a cell because of fake, corrupt evidence, intelligence that the Attorney General of Nigeria, who himself was a terrorist supporter. So when you have an Attorney General who becomes a terrorist, how can you blame Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali? Mr. Malami was arrested as a sympathizer and organizer of terrorism in Nigeria. Now look, this guy, the son was doing business, exporting gold. This gold was intercepted by the Burkina Faso group. You know, let's be very honest. There is nothing that Mr. Tinubu can do, which he has failed to do in his own country. Peter and all and Africans listening, can somebody come near Pretoria and put an office and meet diplomats for 4 years, and you give the budget to that somebody without the government, the president, near your state house, and collect billions and billions of dollars? Is that a government in Africa? Then later on you find that this somebody was fake, was a conman who presented himself as a presidential advisor for 4 years. Is this a country in Africa? No. I think the best thing Tinubu should do, concentrate on removing Boko Haram, stop jihadists and Fulani jihadists who are coming down to kill Christians. ISIS, that is now regrouping in Nigeria, that goes down to kill civilians, Christians, butchered, 200, 300, kidnapped, girls taken to the police. Please. You see, whenever Nigeria comes, I feel sad for these people. A country of 250 million people, Peter Mbolo, is useless in Africa. Empty as a shell. Empty. Empty. It causes us problems everywhere. You go to Dubai, it is in Nigeria making us to have visas. You go in Thailand, everywhere you go. And my God, he cannot clean his own country. Then he's busy popping nose to the younger men who have cleaned their country. Go to Burkina Faso, see the type of development. Go to Niger, see the type of development. It is easier to get $10,000 in a bank if you have local money in Niger than to get $10,000 in Abuja or Lagos. So which country is better? I leave you Africans to judge.
And then very briefly, Sierra Leone, Parliament there has approved a highly contested set of constitutional reforms. cutting the threshold to win the presidency, introducing proportional representation and reserving 30% of political leadership roles for women. This all sounds positive somehow and very similar to South Africa.
Yes, the stability begins with the South African model. And I have been telling people that that is the way to go. If people want stability in an election where you can elect and go home and drink your tea, pitandolo, wait for results, go to South Africa. You can blame South Africa for everything, but you cannot blame them for political electoral violence. No. Because their system is intact. Most African countries pretend to be holding elections. What election are you holding? What election are you holding in Africa when several dead bodies are in the rivers and the lakes? What election do you hold? Go and change the model. That's why I've told you, what democracy are you talking about in Africa? Africa, you need to be talking. Start talking. At least for me, I am not sitting down in my retirement as I am now. I am talking. Because God will ask me, why didn't you talk? I am talking. And Africa must begin talking. That South African model is the best on the African continent as far as elections are concerned. Forget about the other smaller things that happen, which are engineered by a few malcontents, like those who are paid by NGOs, whom I don't like. I told your government a long time ago that you are the people who have more NGOs in the whole world than where the NGOs came from. So for me, I know the problem. That is the best model for Sierra Leone. It will stabilize politics. It will make politics better. Equality will be there. And that is what Matsanga preaches all the time. And that is peaceful election without a dead body. That Nigeria is planning an election. EU is saying we shall observe. Observe what? When 3/4 of the country will not vote, what election are you going to observe in Nigeria, for example? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Dr. Matsanga, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, because we've run out of time. But thank you so much indeed for your insights always on this region. Thanks for your time. And we'll chat again next week, Wednesday.
Thank you very much, Peter Ndolo. I just want to ask my people in Africa to vote for Oralo Tunu in the world. There is a Ugandan diplomat that you need to vote for. That man can change the world, can bring back multilateralism. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you so much indeed. That's award-winning peace maker, Dr. David Matsanga, political scientist and conflict resolution analyst, talking to
Nigeria and the Finland government have failed woefully. This Alexander Storm is a very useless man to be in this planet Earth. Nigeria have influenced this man in the extent that he cannot vomit what he have swallowed. That is what that is happening. But this time around, Biafrans will show them what we made of. Why we defeat Nigeria during the Biafra war. In fact, like our leader always said, we are already dead. It's only Biafra that will bring us back on this planet Earth. The Alexander Storm and the Nigeria government have failed for their cause. Alexander Storm is an imbecile. This man is a useless president so far. Yes, every European country depend on Africa before they survive. But this man have gone in extra mile for showing his hand in a corrupt entity. What he have swallowed is very hard for him to vomit it back. And that is exactly what that is happening. If not, why is this man allowing himself to be used by a corrupt government called Nigeria? And today, the shame is going to befall them. Them and Nigeria is going to hide themselves in shame. Yes, believe that, because there will be no escaping room for an injustice. Justice must prevail. Biafrans are well determined in this cause of Biafra. If we fail to get justice in Finland, we take it to the ICC, which is International Criminal Court. Then By day, out of the 29 judges, we know how the Finland and the Nigeria government is going to defeat the Biafrans. It's not possible and it can never happen. We must defeat Nigeria at all costs. Call for determination is not call for war. Please, my wonderful Biafrans, share this message. Spread this video. Let it go viral. We must defeat them at all costs. And our leader, Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, need our support at all means, because that is what we give them energize, because we are behind them. If you come across this video and you love what I do here in this Global Love Channel TV, please don't hesitate to touch a half or subscribe button, like and turn on the notification bell, so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you will be the first person to be notified. And in doing that, you encourage us to do more, because togetherness, we shall save life together. Africa is always a great continent, and in Biafra, Africa rise the more. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now. Thank you.